Right, folks. Hey,
Hello, everybody. We've got a big fight, haven't we, Joe, to talk about?
mate, it's massive. The undercard list isn't as good as last week's, but the main event is.
We're not gonna lie. We're not really gonna talk about the undercard, are we?
Nah, we're going to speak a bit on last week's boxing.
Oh yeah, a lot on last week's boxing because there's a lot to talk about.
And then we'll get straight into this week's main event, and then yeah.
So sounds good to me, mate. Sounds perfect to me.
Nice.
I'm just gonna double check the undercard. There's literally no one I've ever heard of except Kieran Conway, and I don't even know who's fighting.
I've checked. It's not the best. Oh, it might be good, but I don't know anything.
I really don't care. I'm not gonna be watching it.
Mate, the undercard start at 1 o'clock. I think it's generally going to be just watch the main event for me.
I probably will stay up and watch it all, but I'll hate myself for it.
I couldn't be asked.
But
I hate the American fight because all day you're looking forward for it being fight night, but then you realise it's basically to manner.
Yeah, I know. So we'll talk about last week's boxing. Where should we go through the undercard first?
Yeah.
Right, I'll get that up. Good night of boxing, actually. I was well impressed. I don't know about you, but I was.
Yeah, it was class, mate.
I really enjoyed it. I think Sky's had a really good year in terms of boxing, and most things have gone their way.
Yeah.
So we'll go. We've seen Campbell
Sonny
Hatton
Edwards
fight.
actually.
Good.
Sonny Edwards, I believe that was last week, weren't it?
Oh yeah. Sonny Edwards capturing title. He was absolutely unbelievable.
Yeah.
Very impressed with him. I think everybody was. But yeah, well done, Sonny Edwards. Boxed well. The lad just couldn't land a glove on him. But yeah, it was nice to have Callum Johnson on that thing. Love Callum Johnson. Right. So Campbell Hatton secured a win.
Yeah, mate.
Have you heard the money he apparently got for that?
No, not heard it.
Apparently, it was about 700 grand. That's figures which have been rumoured about. That's a lot of money for being your second fight. I can see it being true, like.
I mean, I don't know why he was so far from the card. I think it must have been because it's a smaller fight.
Yeah, I thought Eubank should have been ahead of him, like.
I think it might have been because they wanted a smaller fight before the Katie Taylor one.
Yeah, they didn't want to let that be let down. But anyway,
I'm not
Hatton,
sure, but
decent.
Yeah.
Average. He doesn't really carry much power, does he?
Campbell. I was thinking he lacked that bit of power. For me, he was a bit eager, but he was far less eager than last time out.
Yeah, he was more impressive. He was better.
Yes.
You can already see the improvements.
I don't think you can say that he's not going to win a world title. You can't say he's going to win one yet. It's too early. We'll just see how it goes. Take the career steady. No point setting these high expectations or these low expectations. Just let him get a couple of fights, and we'll see how he is in a couple of years before we start.
One thing we almost can promise is however many fights he has is going to be at least that many podcasts, because we'll do one on every fight he has because we just love talking about him.
Yeah. So we can't really see how far it's going to go yet.
No, not yet.
But yeah, he said it was a much improved, but there's more to come from him. But the only thing I'm thinking, although there is more to come from him, we need to see this more to come from him, because it was a step in the right direction, yes. But now we want to look.
I think he needs to make another step. By the time he's 5-0, I want to see him start really stepping, like not up the opponent, just improving, getting to them 6 rounders and stuff like that.
Yeah, I just want to see a performance where he says that's the best out of me, but then I don't think you'll see that. All fighters always can say they'll go better, but yeah, it's interesting to see if Campbell does believe he can go better than what that was, and I think he will.
Yeah. Anyway, we'll get into the next one. We're not going to talk about Scott Chisora. Been out the ring, beat someone who wasn't very good. Yeah. All the best for his mental health, and I hope you can go back to light welter and win that British title again. Now on to Chris Eubank Jr.
That was an interesting one. I thought he was trying to take the Roy Jones Jr. style.
He definitely was, mate. I watched about 7 rounds, but yeah.
Oh yeah, because you needed a dump.
Yeah, midway through, I was like, nah, I'm not going to make it to the end of this. I had to go, and Joe kept me informed whilst.
I thought it was a weird performance. Well, no, I thought it was a good performance.
It was a decent performance.
I'd say he done well, but I just think you could have got him out of there, me.
No, no. I thought Morrison
He
wasn't
seemed,
bad though.
for me, I think Eubank seemed a bit frustrated that he won't get him out of there and stuff. But there was points where I thought Eubank needed to let his hand go a bit more because he, for me, Eubank is that type of fighter. He'll only throw if he knows he'll land. You know what I mean? He's
Yeah,
not
which can be good, but also can be
he's
bad.
not going to miss. Not going to miss shots. But I just thought maybe he could have. I think maybe he was struggling to get out of first gear.
Yeah, I can agree with that. I thought
Oh,
he never really had to work
yeah,
too hard in the fight.
yeah.
But yeah, decent performance.
He done what he had to do, didn't he? But yeah,
Did you watch the James Tennyson fight?
James Tennyson.
I can't even remember, to be honest.
Was he the Northern Irish dude?
Mate, I don't know.
Because was he the first on the undercards?
Yeah, the one who got
Yeah.
smashed up by that Mexican. No, it wasn't that one.
No, I think he was. I think he was there with the two lightweights and the big shot where the Northern Irish lad got chinned.
Yeah, I can't remember that. My brain's
Yeah,
gone dead. It
yeah,
was for lightweight. I knew it was lightweight. Sorry,
yeah.
everyone. My brain's gone dead.
If it's the one I'm thinking of, if not, I'll look a mug. But it was this. It was a Northern Irish lad
I remember now.
and some foreign lad.
Yeah.
I don't know what country, and yeah, it was a bit of a shame, really.
Yeah, I really can't be asked talking about that. I'm sorry. Anyway, next on, Dimitri Bivol versus Craig Richards. Do you remember that, the fifth one?
Mate, I can't remember.
That light heavyweight fight against that English bloke.
Yeah, yes.
Yeah, and he tried to box him, but he just couldn't quite keep away for long enough.
Yeah, I thought the English dude. I don't
that
know.
That Bivol's class, I must admit.
Yeah, Bivol done a good job. I thought
just like Canelo, isn't he? His style.
Yeah. I wouldn't say the English guy done bad. I just wouldn't say he done enough.
Yeah. He won about 3 rounds. He put a decent show on for himself, and I think he's decent. I think he can definitely try and secure a European title. But on to, for me, fight of the night. I don't know. Yeah, fight of the night. Katie Taylor versus Natasha Jonas. Women's boxing at the minute is on top.
Yeah, it was a great fight. You know what I mean? This is going to be really controversial, right? Hear me out before you start thinking.
I'm not going to hear you out. I am going to slag you off.
When I've seen Katie Taylor a couple of times with a spoon or Weatherspoon, if you remember last time. Is it Witherspoon? Witherspoon.
What are you shouting about?
They know that they know that one that she should have lost and went to the rematch.
Oh yeah.
The spoon.
Bassoon, not Witherspoon. Fuck's sake.
I said that last week and I was joking and then I convinced myself it was Bassoon. I watched that the first time and I thought Katie Taylor lost. I watched the rematch. I thought she was Bella. She'd done good, but she weren't made out what she was meant to be. And I watched her again against Jonas. I thought she's done well, but every time I've watched her, it's been a close fight. And I think she's made to be this big Irish women slayer killer. She kills all her opponents. But for me, I don't see that. I don't see her just invincible.
I see Savannah Marshall more. Do you remember that last from Hartlepool? Middleweight woman. She's unbelievable.
Yeah.
For me, she's the best woman boxer.
Yeah. Katie Taylor, I thought, done good for me. I haven't watched it back, and I might be wrong, might be a bit biased.
She did win the fight, right?
I was wanting to see Jonas win, but I actually drawn it. I actually had it. Was it 5-0?
Yeah.
I believe. But
I had it 8-8 going the last 2 rounds, and she took the last 2.
I did say to Connor, I don't think she won the fight. I thought she drew, but if anyone was to win it, I thought Katie Taylor won it. But I'd like to see a rematch.
I can get on board with what you're saying.
What?
I can get on board with what you're saying, but
I thought you were saying you're getting bored of what I'm saying.
No,
well,
but I think
for me, right,
she edged it by 2 rounds. She won She won like the first 3. Then Jonas came back in. Anyway, I had 4-4 in round 8. Katie took the 9th and the 10th, so that gave me a 6-4. But I could see it being. I could almost see it being 5-5, almost, but not quite.
For me, if you look at it right, what am I on about?
Jonas landed more punches to punches.
For me,
Taylor threw more.
For me, I think Jonas at the beginning, I don't know, it might have just been focused, but I thought she actually looked a bit scared before going in, a bit, maybe not scared, like shook.
No, I think she looked alright.
And I think the first couple of rounds, I don't know. I feel she gained the confidence as the fight went on.
Yeah, I can agree with that.
If she had that confidence throughout the full fight, maybe she could have took the first.
We're talking about if what's and maybes here, and I'm only here
Right.
for absolutes. And Taylor, for me, she did win the fight. I definitely like to see that go again. It's just such a good, like, you get in close and you just scrap. Like, women's boxing is so good to watch at the minute.
I'd like to see 3 rounds though.
3 minutes.
3 minutes, yeah. For me, with these 2 minutes, it's really sprint distance every round. Yeah, and I just don't. I feel it takes a bit. I feel boxing sometimes takes a little while to get going.
Yeah, but I feel like women boxing, you've got to get straight into it, and that's what I like about the 2 minute rounds.
Yeah,
I personally really don't want it to change.
I'd like to see the 3 minutes where it's a bit. It could go 2 ways going 3 minutes. It could slow the pace down, and
I think it'll do that.
It could shitter it, or it could actually give the times to follow up on hurting the opponents and give them.
But I don't think they will, because they won't have to do as much. They won't have to come out at each other and just punch the shit out of each other, which is what I love. That is just what I love. Anyway,
what about 12? What about 12 rounds?
I'd definitely take 12 2-minuters. That's fine.
I do think they could do a bit more minutes in there.
Yeah, I think 12 2 minutes.
And I think that's why they can't headline the fights, because I remember them saying that should have been the headline fight.
But it shouldn't be when it's only a 20-minute fight.
I think that was the co-main event, and the main event, the 12 3-minuters.
Yeah, I think if there's 2 12-minuters, then yeah, I think you can just about. But you'll have to be like, I think if women are headlined, I think they've got to like have all women on the card.
Yeah.
And I don't think that would sell that much.
Nah,
they're all right in here and there, but not too much without sounding really sexist and horrible. But yeah.
Anyway,
on the main event,
Delboy Chisora against Joe Parker. It was. You had Parker winning.
I had Parker up by 1 round.
I did kind of fuck up my scoring halfway through.
He was just giving Chisora every round.
I just like numbering. I think Connor kept me going, because next time I'm just gonna score it 1 2 2 1 3 1 instead of 117 to 100.
Man had Chisora in the first 9 or 7 rounds or something.
You
just didn't give Parker around.
Mate, I did. I had Chisora, mate. I had Chisora by 1 round.
Yeah, but mate, by the set 8, you had him up like 7-1.
Now, yeah, here's where you were looking at who's landing the more punches and that, right? So was I, right? But, Derek Chisora, you can't lie. He set the pace. He was up in Joe Parker's face for the full night, for the full fight.
Yeah, 100%. But
he didn't give Parker the breathing space. He was the aggressor.
Yeah, but that doesn't win you fights unless you're in Texas, America.
It does. You can aggressor can score you to get you the score card.
Yeah, but it wasn't like he controlled centre ring. He just tried to walk him down.
Yeah, and he did. He did.
He did, but then
he had Parker on his ass after 7 seconds.
Yeah, I can 100% agree with that. And he was doing good shots to the body, but them body shots did nothing to Parker.
For me, I feel that Chisora won the fight, but do I feel Chisora was a better fighter than Parker? No, I feel, for me, regardless of...
Chisora will get into the pay-per-view bout after that, though, because Peter thought he won it.
Regardless of who I thought won the fight, I feel, what I look at it, Parker had a really bad off night and still came out on top. That is what's important of a fighter.
Parker's nowhere near a world championship again. He'll get raped by anybody at the top level.
I know, but he had an off night and still came out on top. He's not a world champion, but he is setting...
He's top 10.
Yeah, I'd say it's a little bit above that. I think...
Top 7?
Yeah,
I think Ruiz would be. I think him and Ruiz rematch would be good.
I didn't watch the fight. I watched the highlights, but they were shite quality.
Dad really did not care about the fight. Ruiz
got put in his ass. No one expected that.
No.
In round 2, I think it was. And I watched some highlights and...
I've seen them. Oh, imagine Chris Arreola putting Ruiz down when AJ couldn't do it in the second fight.
I know.
Are you going to watch the Eddie Hearn and Tyson Fury podcast?
Oh, it's only fucking 10 minutes. I've already watched it.
Oh, don't tell me that. I want to watch it.
It's
I don't care. I want to watch it.
They get yeah. So well, Ariola actually hurt Ruiz at some point. A lot of
He
people
was.
think
He
Ariola.
was all right. Ruiz
A,
really isn't that good.
a lot of people think Ariola won, but
Did
I
he?
think
Who told you Ariola won?
a lot of people. I didn't watch the full fight though, so I can't say.
Mate, I don't know what you've been reading, but I didn't see anyone tell me Ariola deserved to win.
I seen a lot of it.
Fair enough.
Yeah, for me, it's just disappointing because Ruiz was made out to be. He still carried a bit of fat on him, didn't he? But
nah, he's looking great, man. He is looking great.
He's got that natural fat build, but Tyson Fury said himself that he believes Ruiz is a bit too lean.
Fair enough.
I can't fully say I didn't watch the full fight, but it's just a bit disappointing because everyone expected this new, quicker, faster.
Ruiz. Anyway, I think we're getting a bit off topic. We're talking about Del Boy. Derek Chisora is still in the top level. He showed it. For me, he lost by a round. I could see how I think a draw would have been fair.
I could have got behind the draw, but I could have seen Parker win as well. But for me,
do you know, right? I know this. Well, it doesn't sound bad. A lot of people think boxing's like scripted and stuff, but it's a classical. It keeps Del Boy at the top, but it gives Parker the win. So it lets Del Boy be box office again, pay-per-view, and it means Parker doesn't lose his career.
Yeah.
So it's just in the right area. I'm just saying.
I disagree. I don't think that does much good for Parker's career. He gets the win, but he's gonna have to go and face Del Boy again. And
he beats him again, but they get another pay-per-view out of it.
I'm not sure. Chisora said he wants him on the AJ Fury undercard, which was very interesting.
All right.
How did you look into that at the end of the fight? Well, you've clearly not seen it, but at the end of the fight, Derek said him and Parker go out on the undercard.
Oh yeah, I've seen that, mate. I was nearly asleep though.
I was thinking, he said that again. I think Parker said it. I can't remember who else said it, but does Chisora now think that he needs to build his way up to pay-per-view again? Because
I think he just wants to be the co-main event of the biggest fight in England. Mate, here's the question, right? Us two are fighters, right? Would you rather be put on the undercard, either third or second, on the biggest fight in English history? We're both British lads, or would you rather have your own pay-per-view?
Whatever makes me the most money.
No, come on, seriously, I'd rather be on the biggest fight in the world.
Nah, I think look, he's not going to. I don't see Chisora getting much bigger of a name than he is now. And for me, I'd look at it as if he get the most money for the whatever you get the most money for is what I'd do.
Okay, fair enough. Should we get onto the big fight?
Aye.
Right. Okay.
A lot's gone on through the week, hasn't it, with these two?
Yeah, I know. It's just antics.
Yeah, for me, it's interesting how we look at that because we it's Canelo Saunders. You can read the title and that, unless you're blind.
Yeah, if you can't read, I don't know what you're fucking doing. Listen to us.
Unless you're visually impaired.
Shit.
What?
I've just cocked up. If you can't read, why are you listening to us? Because it's a podcast.
Dickhead.
I deserve that.
Yeah, and some people might just not be able to read. You know what I mean?
Right. Anyway, Billy Joe Saunders, 30-0. Big Martin Murray on the 4th of the 12th. Or 12th of the 4th. I don't know. 4th of the 12th, wasn't it? I don't know.
For me anyway, fuck that shit. Do you see that Billy Joe Saunders fairly, you could say, wanting the bigger ring? Does that play into Canelo's advantage of Billy Joe Saunders not being 100% confident? And I think Billy.
No, I think it just annoys Canelo, to be honest.
I haven't known. No, because apparently Canelo was whatever. I'll fight him whatever ring. But apparently, I haven't seen any I've seen interviews. But has Billy said that he believes you can knock Canelo out? Because I believe him saying he wants a bigger ring is showing that he believes his only way to win is using his legs, which...
No, his dad thinks the only way he can win is he has to box and then knock him out. Because he can't just stand there and bat for bat with him because he will get knocked.
For me, this is how I'm looking at it, right? Canelo pitches punches, in my opinion, probably the best out of any current fighter at picking his shots.
Yeah, agree.
Good. And Billy Joe Saunders is very, very good at making people miss
And boxing.
and boxing.
He's
but
just like his best mate.
he is really good at making people miss, right? But has Billy Joe Saunders ever fought anyone who picks the shots as good as Canelo?
I
And
mean,
and has Canelo ever had to pick his shots as good at someone who can move like Billy Joe Saunders? So it's going to be like, will Billy Joe Saunders give Canelo the chance to pick his shots like he normally does? But then will Billy Joe Saunders have the chance to move away against someone who picked a shot?
right,
like
hear me
Canelo?
out, right? Billy Joe Saunders has fought some very good opponents in his time.
Definitely.
I'll tell you his opponents when I get down. I know a few of them off my head.
You
He
ban.
fought Martin Murray. He's okay. But people like Andy Lee, you know,
Yeah.
the trainer now, very good
Yeah.
fighter, unbelievable, had a proper bang on him. An undefeated Chris Eubank Jr., John Ryder, Matthew Hall, Gary O'Sullivan, all very good fighters at the time. Now, nobody as good as Canelo.
Yeah, but then contradicting what I've just said, I know I am. Eubank picks his shots very well, and Billy Joe still doing what he had to do against Eubank. You know,
But it's like comparing, I don't know, Tommy
Yeah.
Fury
yeah,
to Dimitri Bivol.
yeah,
Because yes, Chris Eubank Jr. picks his shots very well,
yes.
but he doesn't pick his shots anywhere near as well
Now,
as the man who was 50-0.
now I've just said there as well. Canelo has never fought someone who moved like Billy Joe. Well, he kind of at Mayweather. He's really good at making people miss and all that. So it's going to be interesting. But I could.
You forgot about Mayweather, didn't you?
No.
You did, didn't you?
No, I didn't. But I
he also fought Matthew Hatton as well, by the way.
Did he?
Canelo,
yeah, he did. Yeah. It's different though with Mayweather, because Mayweather, as much as he makes people miss, it's Oliver. I always think he does it differently. Like
I get what you mean, but
like,
it's still very similar people.
Yeah, Billy Joe though, like I don't know the way Mayweather makes.
Do you remember what he did to Callum Smith?
So unique, yes.
That's disgusting. Callum Smith was 6'3", supposed to be able to box. He beat Sergio Kovalev. He's been light middleweight, super middleweight, and light heavyweight. That's why I'm not even giving him a chance. I'm sorry, Billy Joe Saunders. I absolutely love your personality. He has been beaten twice. Well, once by Golovkin. I don't care what anyone says.
Yeah.
But I just don't quite think Billy Joe will have enough to. I don't think Billy Joe's as good as Kovalev. I think he's better than Callum Smith.
Yeah.
I think he's better than Fielden. I don't think he's better than Gennady Golovkin. He never dared face him. I think he's better than a few of these. He's not better than Mayweather, of course. I'm just going through like some of his better opponents.
Yeah, it's interesting because
he gets up there in probably his top 6 opponents.
For me, I believe Billy Joe has to get in Canelo's. Not has to, but it helped Billy Joe a lot if he gets in Canelo's head and rattles him. But we don't know. The press conference is going on now as we're speaking, but we don't know if Billy Joe's in Canelo's head. It doesn't seem that way. And I believe if Canelo's calm, composed, it could be a very long night. Well, short night for Billy Joe. But I believe that if Billy Joe's in his game, Canelo is not unbeatable. But I believe it's going to be a very, very hard task for Billy Joe. I believe Billy Joe will have to win it by about 4 rounds to get any sort of chance with the judging is over there as well. I mean,
I think he needs 2 knockdowns and win 8 rounds. Which
I wouldn't go that far.
I would. I think he needs 2 knockdowns.
I say
one knockdown and 7 rounds.
I say he needs to be at least about 4 up, a bit more comfortable than that maybe. But I don't think the crowd will affect Billy Joe. I don't think
I don't think anyone will care, to be honest.
I don't think they'll give a flying fuck. I mean, I'll knock all of them out if you wanted, you know what I mean? So it's.
I think he's got bigger problems in the crowd that night.
Oh, no, I believe that's either going to be Billy Joe will turn up and box Canelo. Whether we'll be able to win him or take him the distance, we don't know. But I believe it'd be a toughish night for Canelo. I believe I'll see Canelo absolutely smoke Billy Joe and get him out there very, very quickly.
I think Canelo will just smash it to pieces over 12 rounds very slowly and painfully.
Ooh.
I can see Canelo.
For me, Billy Joe's like one of them fighters. You know, you have a couple of them. Tyson Fury was one. Wilder was one before he lost. Billy Joe, one of them fighters who you can just never imagine losing, and you don't know what they'll be like after losing. So I'm trying to picture in my head like Billy Joe losing, and it just not as much the fighting styles, but just them personally and how much it'll affect them losing. You know what I mean?
They're facing off right now. I'm watching it.
Are they?
They both seem very, very calm, mate.
Do they?
Billy Joe Saunders, nice sunglasses.
Hmm.
Man looks calm. Canelo, chilled, smiling, happy as usual. But yeah, I think Canelo will take this one. What about you? We'll give our final predictions. We don't want this to be a long pod.
What?
We don't want this to be a long pod, do we, mate?
I'd like to say Billy Joe. I'd like to say Billy Joe Saunders, but I'm edging towards Canelo to maybe finish it in round 11 to 12. But equally, I could see Billy Joe possibly outboxing Canelo. But if we had to pick Canelo a knockout later on,
okay, fair enough. Anyway, everybody, we didn't want to make this too long, so thank you all for watching. See you in the next pod. Leave your predictions in the comments. I hope you all have a great day.
Billy Joe. In a bit.
In a bit.